Hey, everybody. My name is Katrina. I am the founder of Incapable Bondage Foundation. We are an inspiring nonprofit organization that is centered around spreading awareness to mental health, domestic violence, and trauma. And on tonight, as you guys know, it is Mindful Monday. Hey, Nelly. And every Monday we do go live. I'm actually going live on Facebook. I have not been live on Facebook, so I have both platforms actually going on. So for those that are on Facebook, you will be able to hear the conversation in regards to my guest speaker, but you will not be able to see her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually send this out to some people on Instagram. So that way, before we get started, you guys will know. Hi, Ashley. How are you, boo? As you guys are aware, this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So I have on my purple in regards to that, and I have on my camouflage headband because when you go through things through domestic violence and going through all those type of issues, you end up coming out as a warrior. And when you come out as a warrior, there's just a lot of things that you have to fight in regards to your mental health and getting through the trauma. So that's why I have my camouflage and my purple on today. Okay. Our guest today, she's actually going to come in and she's going to talk to us about how domestic violence has affected her as a person. And when I say that, because she posted, hey, Janelle, she posted in regards to two young ladies that was actually close to her, and talked about actually how they actually ended up being taken away in regards to their abuser. So I actually am going to bring her up so she can actually let us know more about how it affected her and tell us more in details about the story. And then when I talked to her the other day, I come to find out there was another young lady that she was close to as well that was affected by domestic violence, and she was a teenager. So if you guys are in the room, I did share this out with some people. I'm going to share it out with some more. So if you guys are in the room, please make sure that you share this out. Let everyone know that we are actually on Mindful Monday so they can come on in and talk to us. Okay, so let me send it out to some more people, and then we will get started. I think that is it. I think it's going okay. All right. Hey, Linda. Hey, Crystal. How are you, boo? Hey, beautiful and imperfect. How are you? Again. Okay, text me, love bug. So tonight I'm going to have a special guest on, and she's going to come up and she's going to talk to us about how domestic violence has affected her. If you guys missed the introduction, she's actually going to come on because she has three young ladies that hey Marisha, yes, Crystal, awesome day. She's going to come in because she had three young ladies that were taken away from here by their abusers, and she's going to let us know how it affected her. So what I am going to do is I am going to invite her in the room. If you guys have any questions, you know, as always, you can put your questions in the comment section. I'm not going to turn the comments off today, so you guys will be able to ask those questions. Her name is Miss Nelly. I'm going to let her actually introduce herself, let you guys know where she is located, and then we're going to get into the topic of the night.
Hey,
Again, if you
Red.
have questions, put them in the comment section. So go ahead, Miss Nelly, and let them know who you are, where you're located, and then we'll get started.
Hi, my name is Nell. You can call my Instagram is the Crazy Kurt Girl 80. So you can call me Crazy. You can call me Nell. You can call me Kurt Girl. You can call me anything. Pretty much I'll respond, but you can call me Nelly. It doesn't matter, Nell. I'm actually in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm from between Fayetteville and Charlotte, so I'm kind of bouncing in between. I'm here tonight to speak on domestic violence. I'm not going to stay long because I don't know how long her platform is. I've never got on before. But two things that I worry about in the month of October is breast cancer awareness month. I always post something on that. And then I had two people that really meant a lot to me die from domestic violence. And as a matter of fact, one of my students died in 2018. I was a school teacher in Cumberland County for 8 years. And I started out as a sub. You know, you start out one way and get your foot in at another. But I'm
Mm.
not gonna start out talking about her. I'm gonna talk about my childhood friend. Her name was Veronica Graves, and she was married. She had 3 kids, and she was trying to escape a abusive relationship with her husband. And she was pregnant with a 4th child, and he murdered her and killed her in front of the courthouse. He stabbed her to death in front of the courthouse. The police were tasing him, and he just wouldn't stop it. It's a news article. It's on my page. Everything I'm telling you, can't say, oh, she's slandering somebody. It was all in this. Police were tasing him. They were still stabbing her and everything. And 3 days later, her and her unborn baby passed away. So, I mean, it's played. That was in 2008, November, Thanksgiving weekend, as a matter of fact. And it still plays a horrifying, effect on me because, that was somebody I grew up with. I never imagined that she was going to ever go through anything like that. And even having flashbacks and thinking about it, I'm just like, no. I was like, this couldn't have happened. Maybe it happened another way, because when she passed away, I didn't go to the funeral. I didn't want to see her like that, because he had stabbed her. And when he was stabbing her, they couldn't stop the holes. How they say when somebody stab you, put cloth over you. They couldn't stop. She was bleeding everywhere. So she had like the do not resuscitate type order. And she just took it from there. I mean, I guess she was just sick and tired of it. We all go through things, but you just never imagine the person that you love coming to get you to kill you. People do things in the heat of a moment. I understand that, but the fact that she actually went through it is horrifying to even think about it. I mean, you going to the courthouse to get a restraining order, you coming out the magistrate, he's out there waiting on you at the courthouse. I mean, what I'm telling you, her name was Veronica Elizabeth Graves Williams. You can Google it, and the story will come right up. He stabbed her in the courthouse parking lot.
For you guys, the young lady who she's talking about, this actually happened in Maryland.
Yes.
So that was one of the stories that actually caught my eye when she posted it. It happened in Maryland. And I always talk about how with the system, how when you go to get the restraining orders, they have you in the room with your abuser.
Yes.
So in there with them, and you have to walk out with them. You have to go on about your date with them. And this is just an example of how the system they're not thinking logically. I don't think they're, because you get a piece of paper, they're supposed to stay away. And because he actually did it in front of the court building. Another thing about this story that kind of like it pissed me off was the fact that they were tasing him. So he's stabbing her and they're tasing him instead of taking excessive force to get him off of her.
Right. And what makes it so bad, he was like a pillar in the community. He was working against domestic violence, and he was beating on her.
That's the thing. So if you are in, any area, especially DMV area, I tell everyone just to be mindful of what's going on. Be mindful of the things when someone comes to you and says they're going through a situation. Don't let them go to the courthouse by themselves. Try to escort them. You do want to be safe for yourself as well.
Yes.
But this young lady, she went to start the process and do what she had to do and follow the things she had to follow. And she lost her life, in front of the court building. So
yeah, well, like I said, he had stabbed her. It was like pretty much stabbing her, and she had lost so much blood and had so many holes. I don't think she could have made it. She'd have been like in a vegetarian state. I know you read the article. I think it happened like that Monday. She died Thursday or something like that. So it's a 3-day process. That your agony on your body of just one stab, and somebody stabbing you multiple times, and the police are tasing this man, and he's still stabbing her. I mean, if you see somebody getting tased, you can almost feel what the effects of somebody getting tased. Like, oh my God, like it hurt. Somebody tasing you, and you still stabbing somebody. That's got some hurt, and that's some anger. And that was wrong. That was wrong. And knowing that she had 3 kids and she was pregnant with a 4th, that was wrong. He intended to kill her. He intended to kill her. And like I said, this even though that was November the 20th of 2008, this year, next month will be 14 years. I mean, it still plays a horrifying, because of Christmas time, Thanksgiving, I be thinking, I say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go see Veronica. She come home, and I can't do that. And even with her 3 kids, one of her relatives, I'm not gonna call the person's name, is raising her kids, and we check in from time to time. I haven't talked to them in a while, and her kids look just like her. I mean, just like completely. I'm just like, she has her shape. This one looks like this, and it's heartbreaking, because you got 3 kids that's living without their mama and their dad. The dad is in prison because he killed your mama, and the mama's deceased. And I'm just like, it's just too much on me at times. As though it plays a horrifying effect, And I'm just like, I still can't believe it. It's like I'm in a bad dream.
And it doesn't go, like I say, you keep replaying, it doesn't go away.
Yes,
The kids now have to, and the abusers, they're selfish,
they are.
they're very, very selfish. And it seems like he was like enraged, it's
He
like he was
was.
really enraged because she was doing what was best for her and her kids. And I think that that's also the misconception when it comes to like going and doing things, especially to like her, to protect herself, is that she was doing it just to do, go through the right process and do
Right.
correctly, because she needed peace. I know when I went to go and do it, I needed peace. I needed, to be able to have some type of, for them to say, okay, somebody's gonna protect me. But
Right.
like I told you when we talked, my issue was I got the order, but he was standing across the street. And so that was antagonizing to me. I was scared, so hey, I thought it was better to have him in the house than at the house, but then I also put myself in a worse situation because, like, it was manipulation. He said, if you call the police, you're going to get in trouble, and I'm going to
Yeah.
get in trouble. And then I have my kids. So, it's a whole due process that goes into the manipulation, the taking advantage of you and things like that while you're actually in that type of relationship.
Right.
So tell us about the second young lady who.
Okay, the second young lady, and uh this is just as bad as my childhood friend getting killed by her husband. Brianna Brown. I met her when she was in the 7th grade, and like I said, I started out subbing, and it's a school here. I'm not gonna call the name of the school. She was in an alternative school, and I would see her out in places, and I would see her at school because I was teaching there. I was a sub. When you're alternative school, nobody wants to really work there, so why not work there? The kids seem to love me or whatever, and I love them. This little girl said, Miss May, I want to go home with you. Can I go home with you? And I said, listen, you got to ask your mama. I said, because I can't just take you. It's kidnapping. And she said, I see how you treat your daughter. I won't, my mama don't treat me that way. And I'm not going to take it no further than that. So, but you already know where I'm going with this. And say, okay, well, the love and affection. So part of me is like, I wish I'd have took this little girl with me. Because maybe she'll still be here. But the way that the media portrays it and the way that, it actually happened is not it. But I'm just going to stick with what the article say. She had went to school that day. She was 16. Her boyfriend was 21. Looking at him, you can't really tell that he's 21. He does look a little crazy. And I'm just telling you how I feel about his mugshot picture or whatever. And I'm not knocking nobody and down on nobody because he could have just been scared in the picture. But and I haven't couldn't find out that was this month, October the 10th, 2018, and I have not seen him in this town nowhere. But she
Wow.
had went to school. They went back to her home where she stayed with her mom. Her mom was not there at the time. I'm not gonna get in detail what I'm just gonna say. And something happened, and he had the gun, pulled it out on her, and shot her and killed her. And he is not in jail for killing her. He is not. So that
And
plays a major part of me too, because that's like black on black crime. They don't care about us no ways. And she was a child.
that's just further awareness to teenage domestic violence. For you guys know, teenage domestic violence is real, and we have to be able to let our children know that it is not okay. Just like as adults, we know it's not okay for anyone to put their hands on you, but we
No.
also, our teenagers, know as well. There are so many young women and men that actually are going through teenage domestic violence because they think that it's cute. And then not only that, they do end up being afraid of the guy or the girl or whoever the case may be.
That part.
They don't want to say anything, right? But the thing is that we already know that our teenagers keep so much from us already,
Right.
and so we have to figure out how to get to them and how to reach them and how to let them know the signs. But also, we have to let our teenagers know who may be the abuser. If you are, a parent that's involved, hey, this is certain things you just don't say or certain things you just don't do, letting them know we don't own people. We don't own them. They are human beings. We don't, whatever they want to do, they are more than welcome to do those things. And you can't control them, or stop them from doing it. I
Right.
feel as we are missing that step when it comes to spreading awareness in our house, because we let our children think that it's okay. It's not okay for someone to be jealous because you spoke to, one of your classmates. It's not okay for them to scream and holler at you, and things like that,
That
just
part.
they're upset. It's not okay. So when it comes to our teenagers, we need to spread awareness to them as well, so they will know that um it's not, it's not okay. So I'm gonna read some of the comments.
Okay.
So no baking, well, Crystal Nicole, I call Crystal. So she basically said that's why she carries a firearm. Crystal is like 4'9", right?
Right.
So think about it, like you being in a city and being somewhere people will try to like try you and stuff like that. And so I never, like, I'm a person, I'm actually scared of guns. But I'm gonna let you guys know we was out somewhere one night and some guys were walking by, and Crystal was aware of our surroundings, and she was like, stand to the side, right? And so me, I'm like, oh,
Right.
why am I sitting to the side? But that's just being aware of your surroundings. But I say that to say that, a lot of people see women by themselves, and they think, or it's a crowd of us or two or three of us, and they try to take advantage of that as well.
They
So
do.
we need to be mindful of that. And then you also want to make sure you have someone you can talk to. Because for me, I felt very alone when I was going through my domestic violence relationship. I felt very judged. I felt as though people would not understand why I was in the situation that I was in. And they always had something negative to
The
say. So
same.
instead of me opening my mouth and talking to somebody or finding somebody that will understand, I basically just kept it to myself and kept it hidden. Let me see. Chris Nicole also says, also be aware of your kids' mental health. I constantly talk to my oldest son because he does have a quick temper. So that's right. That's a good thing to do when it comes to our children, right? And I'm glad that she said that. She's able to recognize, right? And because she's able to recognize what it is that her son with his temper, right? She's able to recognize that, and she's able to say, hey, look, that's not good. And to whatever steps that she may be taking to get him or assist him with working through it, right? So that's a good thing for anyone to do, us as parents. But she probably is so involved in her son's life that she can see it and she can tell the signs and she can check him on those things. So again, like I said, our teenagers are so um caught up in their own feelings. They're caught up in, different things and stuff like that. That when it comes to us checking them and saying stuff isn't right, y'all know they already sensitive, but you still
Right.
have to talk to them and let them know exactly what's going on. And then she said, like that widow kept coming back and acting like he was on drugs. But again, like protecting yourself um, in these type of situations. And I'm
Right.
glad are bringing up about the teenagers in regards to bringing up talking about teenage domestic violence, because again, it's not brought up in the schools. So I want you to tell them about what happened recently as it relates to a teenager, so they have more insight to
Okay,
it.
well, Friday night here, I don't not gonna put out too many details because I'm going by the articles.
Mm-hmm.
And the person, okay, this little girl, they had an event. She went home and she met up with her boyfriend, and she ended up getting shot. And they're actually investigating now. When you look at the article, it's the councilwoman in Fayetteville. So I don't want to put out and say it was domestic violence just yet because they are investigating. I never want to slander anybody. I don't know
Right.
how it happened, but the little girl would have been 16 next month, the way I understand it. She's 15. That's a young age to leave this world. You
Yeah.
know, and her boyfriend, and we're in North Carolina, so you ain't supposed to have a firearm until you're 21. So he wants 21. They went to school together, so I don't know how that's gonna play out. So
Yeah.
at that same token, I don't really want to say, okay, well, it was domestic violence. But when I look at it as a mother, of course, I'm going to always say it was domestic violence because she could have just walked in the room and he shot her for no reason. That's still domestic violence because she's
Mm.
dead.
Right. She's
Yeah, that was
gone.
domestic. That was domestic. But I'm saying I'm still waiting for them to actually investigate and say, because like I said, he's not 21. She went to school with him, so I mean, here in North Carolina, unless you're artistic, you don't stay till you're 22. So yeah. So
Okay. So I want you, if you don't mind, letting us know how these three young ladies that were close to you and the things that happened, how did it affect you in regards to knowing now, right, what happened to them. How has it affected you, or has it affected you in any way? Has it caused you to say, hey, you know what, I'm a advocate for, I'm gonna keep spreading awareness and things like that?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, uh, Veronica, my childhood friend that got killed in front of the courthouse. Her relative that keeps her kids, because I always put it on Facebook and Instagram and all that kind of stuff every year on her birthday. Her birthday's in December, anniversary of death is in November. And by it being public and open, somebody shared it with their Veronica's mother, and she shared it to her page. And she went through my page. She's like, "Oh, she does this every year." She says, I tell her how much I love her and I miss her because that happened in 2008. In 2019 in November, I actually went to Maryland and to the courthouse, because there's like different courthouses in Maryland. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So I had to find the actual one, and I was like, "Excuse me," and I was talking to the officer. I was like, "Well, I want to make sure I'm at the right place," and I told him who I was and where. He was like, "Yeah, you're at the right place," and the tears just rolled down my face and my cheek when he was telling me, "Oh, this happened here and it happened there," and it's just hurtful, I always say I'll be an advocate for it because I'm never gonna forget her. Like, I can't ride down the street that she used to live on. With the neighborhood where Breonna got killed, sometimes when I'm going by there, and maybe because, like I said, Veronica was a childhood friend, and I knew Breonna from 2015, maybe 2016, 2018. I would see her. She always speak to me, hugging kids like she was my daughter. I do go in her neighborhood. I don't go to the house, and I just kind of like look and say, okay, well, this is where my girl left me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't her fault, you know? And then, like, with the little girl that, passed away over the weekend, and I'm gonna say passed away even though she got shot. It's degrading because she was a baby. She was 16, regardless of what happened between the two of them, whether it was an accident or whatever. I feel as though he shouldn't have had a gun at that age. He shouldn't have been allowed to. He shouldn't have been playing with. That's what it was. They're gonna come out and say, "Oh, this and that," anyways. So I'm gonna draw it out as a mother. It's hurtful because that could be anybody's child, and not necessarily a 15-year-old. You could be 30 years old, and you can walk into a room and be with a man, and he could be old enough to have a gun, 40 or 50, and you get shot and get killed or whatever. So it's just something that stays with me. It's something that I just absolutely just don't overlook. It's just something that stays with me all the time. Like, these are the hardest months for me because I look at them. Breonna was born May the 10th of 2002. She died October 10th of 2018. So this year she would have been 20, and she was actually a year older than my daughter. So with that being said, it's like I can see, like, okay, well, she'd have been 20, she'd have been in college, she'd have been doing this, and she'd have been doing that. And I do feel some type of way because I didn't take her to come stay with me or whatever. At the time, I always had a regret in my heart. I always think about, well, what if she not? Because I asked one of the kids, students, after she passed away, that was in the alternative school. I was like, "You remember me?" And they was like, "Yeah, hey, Miss May, we remember you. We was at such and school together." And I was like, "You was in the class with Breonna?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You remember she used to always ask to go home with me?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "When did she mean it?" She said, "Yeah, she meant it. She meant it. She wanted to go home with you." Because I always took my daughter on trips, and we went out to eat. We go to the Disney World. I mean, just everywhere. Me and my daughter were always doing something, and she would always want to go. I said, "Well, you got to ask your mama. I can't just take you. It's kidnapping. You're not my baby. I got to ask." But she could have went. It wouldn't have been no problem. It would have been no problem. As long as her mama says okay. But it's always gonna play a part with me with her because she was a child, and then sometimes kids are misguided or they're not properly watched, or you got some that say, "Oh, they just grown. They think they grown." Cause you got to realize she was 16, he was 21, and maybe she knew he was 21, maybe she didn't. I don't know, but it plays a part with me because I miss all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't call Veronica and say, "Girl, you coming home this weekend?" "Oh, you know what? I'm riding to Maryland." "Oh, you know what? Name a restaurant up in DC. We'll meet up." You know what I'm saying? So I've never had the opportunity with her again in this world. Maybe in the next life, but as of yet, I mean, it's something that I don't sleep on. And there's certain things. I'm gonna say this because I know I keep talking. There's certain things that remind me of them, like the day Breonna died. Right? I had a black SUV and it was raining that day, and it was a heart that was carved in the car. And the last time I had seen her, she had took her finger and carved a heart in the back of the window. And I had washed the car since then. And when it rained that day, when it had rained, the heart appeared. And I was like, I didn't think nothing about it then, right? And then it was like, oh, Brianna got killed. I was like, maybe she was telling me goodbye. Maybe she
Yeah.
was telling me that she loved me.
I mean,
You
I'm not
know?
supposed to cry. Uh,
I mean, I didn't think about it like then because I was like, I washed my car. 'Cause, I had somebody to wash it. And I was like, I wonder where that heart come from. And I was like, oh, that's the heart Brianna put on there. And then that day I found out she died. And I was like, well, I watched that car 4 or 5 times since that she put that heart there. But like I said, maybe she was just telling me goodbye and she loved me. Because we
yeah.
all have a time clock in this world. We don't know what day it's going to be or whatever. That's fine. And then that's God's decision. That's his word. But sometimes I just feel like some people rush themselves out and then some people just are pushed out this world.
Yeah. And that's whenever I meet someone that's a survivor, I always say to them, I'm thankful that you're still here.
Right.
So that I say that to them is because people don't know behind the scenes of things that happen, of things that go on, the
Right.
of you just having to be quiet about a lot of things.
Yes.
I've also noticed that, society does not want you to talk about it, and especially in
No.
our community. And I'm saying it because, our family looks at it as you being embarrassing to them. Our family looks at it as though, what goes on in our house stays in our house. So
Yeah.
when you start to talk about it and you start to spread awareness about it, they don't want you to do that. And it's so sad because the two last young ladies that she was talking about, you guys are teenagers. And imagine already going through high school, being a teenager, going through puberty, all these things that is happening right now in society, having to deal with that on top of having to deal with someone physically or mentally or verbally abusing you. As adults, for us, it's hard, right? For me, it was very
Right.
hard to find my voice. It was very hard to say, okay, I'm gonna leave. I will leave and come back. I will leave and go back. I will leave and go back. I will do those things, right? And it's not like he was like, we were wrestling and shit. He was beating my ass, right?
Yeah. Cause wrestling, you playing, you just having fun, but somebody want to
It's
leave bruises on you and tear your head up and calf kill you or kill you.
black eyes. I've had my hair pulled out. I've had it where I go and put concealer. I've had it where I've gone to work with his footprint on my shirt. I've had it where I couldn't go to work. I've had it where he done tore up my cars, and things like that. A lot of stuff I don't say or talk about everything that happened because some things when I do talk about, honestly, it just takes me back to where I was and then I get in a bad headspace. But all of these things that happen and entail, as an adult, I was 26 years old. So from 26 until the age, I think it was like 31, 32 maybe, me and him were together, right? And I thought that, he was the one for me. I thought that it was only going to happen that one time. But when I tell people he was not my first abuser, I was also
Ooh.
abused as a teenager. I was also locked in a room. So when I come on my platform and I talk about domestic violence and I bring it up, I'm not saying it for clout. I'm not doing it to get people to follow. I'm saying it because I didn't have anyone to turn to as a grown ass woman.
Mm.
I didn't decided to say, you know what, let me know what it is that I can do for you. Instead, I had you know what, well, why are you staying with them? Why you ain't leaving? So imagine being a teenager, already being judged, already being talked about, already, having people say you may not be good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not wearing the right clothes. Or if you have on nice clothes, oh, you think you're better than me, you think you this. Imagine them going through those things and then having somebody who they feel as though loves them unconditionally
Right.
do stuff to them. So I'm glad that and I'm thankful that you actually, responded and took my call and all of those things at the last minute and that you
That's
came up with
fine. I'm glad you invited me. Thank you.
those young ladies, because people sometimes need to hear from a different perspective besides me coming up here and telling stories and things like that all of the time. So before you actually leave, let people know how they can find you on social media. If there anything that you may have coming up, let them know how they can support you.
Okay, well, right now I'm the crazy Kurt girl 80. That's DACRAZY, the crazy Kurt KRK girl GIRL 80. I am Lanella May on Facebook. Right now I'm just dealing more with Instagram. So I right now I don't really have too much anything go up. I'm in the digital marketing, so
Okay.
follow me. I'll follow you back.
Okay.
Somebody on here said they from Fayetteville, so uh, send me a hit me up and I hit you up back. Maybe we probably know each other. I know everybody in this town seems like, but I probably know her. She probably know me.
Yeah, she's a crafter, so I will make for sure that you guys connect as well.
Mm-hmm.
So again, thank you for
No,
coming
thank you.
today. I appreciate you. Again, you guys, if you go to her page and you see something or you want to support her, she did post these stories recently. Just go over there and check them out. Check out the articles. And again, thank you for coming. I'm gonna let you go down, and then I'm gonna do my Mindful Monday where I tell stories and things like that of what happened to me. We may play a game or two, and then I'm gonna get off because for whatever reason, Instagram only lets me stay on for an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it starts taking me off.
But you
So
know what's crazy? I thought they only stay on for I think it's 90 minutes or something, and I was on there one day, maybe about 3 weeks ago. I was on there for like 2 hours, and I
I
was
don't.
like,
Maybe it's the update, but I've updated. I've done everything they asked me to do, but for whatever reason, I've been doing Mindful Monday for almost 2 years now, and
mm-hmm.
just recently they start cutting me off at exactly an hour. So hopefully they like me today, and they don't. But again, thank you for coming on.
Right.
If you're gonna stay in the comments, please
I
do.
will. I will. If probably bump me out, I have to come back on. So, but yes, call me back up anytime. Like I said, I'm glad that you invited me or
No problem.
whatever. I feel better talking about it now. It's one thing to type it up there and you feel better. Because I always do a dedication to both of them. I do like one day and one next day, but this time I did both at the same time and just told their story and just
Yeah.
put the links in there so people can't say, "Oh, she's slim." No, what I put up there is actually in the article. And
Okay.
whatever you find is what the media put out there, not me. So, but like I said, it's always something. Even with Veronica, I'm gonna say this: they didn't want to prosecute her husband, her killer. They didn't want to prosecute him because he was a pillar in the community. He was against domestic violence and all this kind of stuff. He tried to put it off on her. But he is in jail, so in prison. So that's what matters to me. Because she's no longer with us. She can't go back and change the end of time. I wish they would do something about Brianna's, murderer or whatever, but they didn't. But maybe it plays on his conscience. So
I hope it does. So thank you guys for you guys that are still on here. I am gonna let you guys know we're gonna talk about my I don't know how to drop you down, so you just
okay, I know
have
how to get off. Thank you,
to
everybody. Follow me and I'll follow you back. Just if I don't follow you right away, just when you click follow or whatever, go to the comments and put in my inbox and put follow back. So, because thank you.
you're welcome. Um tonight you guys I really wanted to talk about being a walking testimony. And I'm glad that she actually came up and she told those stories in regards to those two women, because the topic for today is, I'm a walking testimony. The reason that I chose that topic is because I have decided that it's time for me to take my voice back and do some things differently than I've done in the past, right? And so you guys know I'm always transparent about anything that may happen or when it comes to change and things like that. And I've always told you guys how I have been in the past been a people pleaser. One of the things that I've realized that I do as is being an empath as well is that I take on so much different energies, and I take on other people, and then when somebody doesn't do something the way I feel that they should do it and things of that sort, it actually puts me down. and makes me get in a slump. And over the past weekend, I decided that it will no longer be me. I have a story that I'm going to tell and needs to be told and needs to be heard. And I'm also know that I am working on alignments, and I'm working on myself. And I've learned that over the past weekend that it's okay to take time for yourself and take time for your mental health. And it's okay, and people should understand those things as well when it comes to that, right? And so I've been posting. I know you guys have been seeing my posts. I know you guys have been seeing on my stories. And it's just me being able to be more vocal for myself. And I say again, I'm a walking testimony because I could have been one of those 3 young ladies that could have been taken out of here by her abuser, right? I could have been somebody who took those ideations and took those things and actually went ahead and did those things, and I could have not been here. So for me to sit here and take on different things and hold on to what people do and hold on to what people say and hold people up to a certain standard, I had to stop doing that. And I had to know that for myself, that it's okay if relationships end. It's okay if someone's upset because they don't understand what it is that you're doing at this time for yourself. It's okay if you need a break, right? It's okay, because being a walking testimony means that everything that happens within my life, I'm going to come up on here and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to testify about it because somebody else may need to hear it. I am tired of being a hush hush person and feeling as though my voice has been taken away because I have allowed other people to take my voice away from me. I have allowed myself to be so consumed with other people and what it is that they may be having going on. And then when I sit here, and again, I'm being transparent, when I sit here and I say, oh my God, I need just a sigh of relief from something, it doesn't happen that way. So being a walking testimony means every single thing that happens in your life, for the 9 people that are on here, every single thing that happens within your life, every single trial, tribulation that you may go through is for a reason. Okay, it's not for you, and I've said that before in the past. It's not for you. If you're a spiritual person, and it's not for you, it's for God. It's for you to come and tell him how he is guiding you out of from point A to point B, and for somebody to know that you don't have to walk through life alone. You don't have to be silenced. You don't have to be embarrassed. Because guess what? Everybody go through shit on a regular basis. Everybody goes through something all the time. I used to be so embarrassed about my mental health. Got out of my domestic violence relationship, and then embarrassed about my mental health, right? Embarrassed about my mental health because I felt as though people were still judging me. Oh, well, she's saying that she needs a break again. Oh, well, she's saying she's depressed again. Oh, so her anxiety's on 1,000 again. I was so consumed with what other people thought about Katrina Carter that I didn't know what it was that Katrina Carter wanted for herself. So I get on my platform and I'm up here and I'm telling people to do these things, right? Love on yourself. Write your affirmations. Tell people, forget them. Do those things, right? And I had to sit down and say, are you doing that shit for yourself? Because if you're not doing it for yourself, you sitting up here, you really concerned about who's here and who's not. The people that are there at that time, the people that are standing with you and walking with you, those are the ones that you are concerned about. Because guess what? When you go to them, you say, you know what? Man, I just need a break. They should be understanding, right? Because the ones in the past wasn't that understanding. You know what they would do with the ones in the past? They would still think that you're supposed to be for them. I am so thankful for the people I have and I've met recently by coming on this platform. People sharing my businesses, people saying, come on and check Katrina out. I'm so thankful for them, because you know what that did for me? It made room for the ones that wasn't supposed to be here to move on. right? And so I come on here today and say I'm a walking testimony. I am a survivor of domestic violence, honey. I'm a survivor. I'm standing here in my truth. And I can say that I allowed someone to come into my space and take me so far down that I felt like the scum beneath his feet. And for me to stand up here and come on this platform and host events and networking and talk to different people and let them know that you don't have to do it alone, that's my testimony. It can be your testimony. But if you're currently in a situation that does not serve you positively, doesn't bring positive things into your life, then that relationship has to end, whatever it may be, right? Being a walking testimony, you come up and you tell people, you know what, girl, yes, I have I have mental health illnesses. I actually have 3. I have PTSD, I have anxiety, and I have OCD. I have 4. I have depression as well. Right? My depression hits so hard sometimes that you have to cover it up. I still got to show up, right? I still got to put that mask on. But why do I have to put a mask on for people to understand that this shit is real? Why do I have to put a mask on and come up here and act like everything is okay when it's not? Why do I have to do that? You know why we do that? Because we do not want people to judge us because we have been judged for so much shit. We, and I'm talking to myself as well, have opened up and let people know what our heart is and show them that we are great people and say, oh my God, they should love me. And when the reality sets in that they're only using you, they're going about their business, right? So again, I'm a walking testimony. For the 7 people, I am a walking testimony. You are also a walking testimony. You know why? Because some shit that you don't went through, some people will not be able to go through it. Do you think some people will be able to come up here and say, well, yeah, I got my ass whooped? They won't say it. They won't tell you that. They won't say that they have a mental health illness. They won't say that they had issues, mommy issues. They won't say that they have daddy issues. They won't say that, somebody touched me. They won't say that, oh, you know what, I've allowed people to treat me. So they won't say those things because we don't allow that space for them too. I'm a person that I allow space for everybody. If you're going through something, you come up here, you talk to me, you tell me about it. I do that space, right? Because I know what it means to not have it. I know what it means to fight so much because you don't want people to know that you are fucking drowning. Because you want to sit there with this mask on and act like everything is okay. Do y'all know that people come up on social media and you meet people in person all the time and they're happy-go-lucky like me, right? People meet me, I'm happy-go-lucky. I love everybody. But you know what? After I leave from being around you, I be in a sunken space. So if I'm on the news the next day because I've decided to work out, to go ahead and take on those ideations, people be like, oh, wait a minute. Hold up. I just saw her 24 hours ago. She was happy. She was loving. She was, what happened? You know what happened? Is that she showed up with a mask on. He showed up with a mask on because he wasn't comfortable enough to let people know that they're drowning. I'm drowning. Somebody help me. I'm drowning. So a smiling face or a post up here does not mean somebody's okay. Stop being comfortable with just saying, oh, okay, well, she said she good. I mean, she said she good. What am I supposed to do? Because that's what you hear. That's what people say. I'm going to read the comments and then I'm going to go back to preaching, okay?
Marisha said, "Come on, Trina, testify." Crystal, that's the truth. We teach people how to treat you. Yeah, we have to be careful who you allow in your space because it breaks at your self confidence, and then you allow more and more to happen. Crystal, say that again. O said, "Judgment is real." Um, Tiffany said, "Talk to the people in the back." Um, Ashley said, "The mask is something serious." Crystal said, "Sometimes it's okay to just curse someone out. Like, seriously, some people don't deserve you to go high. You gotta roll around in the mud sometimes." Yeah, y'all know Crystal like to tussle. So Tiffany said, "We are so conditioned to say we are fine when in reality we are breaking." And that's why I came up on here today, and I wanted to talk about being a walking testimony. Because guess what? Do I know all the ins and outs of how to get somebody out of being in depression? Hell no. Do you really know? My therapist told me I am a functional depressive. You know what that means? That means that I walk around every single day as if I'm okay. I can function just like you function. You will never know that once I'm done doing the shit that I'm doing, that I'm going and I'm laying in my bed, and that's where I'm gonna be. And if you never heard of a functioning depressive person, go look it up. Do your research. Because guess what? More people that Chris said, because I know the last week I am not fine, period. That's what I'm saying. And being okay with saying I'm not fine. Being okay with that. Ash says I'm a functioning depressive, right? So what I do is, right, so you guys will know what we do. If you call us and say, "Oh, I'm going through this and that," we be on it. We gonna help you, right? Because what we're doing is we're trying to take away from what it is that we have to deal with, right? We don't want to say, "You know what, depression is about to come and hit me today," because we know when it's coming. We know. I know when my depression is coming up, is balling up. And but you know what brings on my depression? What brings on my depression is when things hit me back to back to back. What brings on my depression, and that's why I said I was taking my voice and finding my voice again. What brings my depression is when I sit here and allow people in my space and allow them to treat me like shit over and over and over and over again. And then when reality sets in that they're using me, and I'll have said to them, "Oh my God, well, what the?" That's what they was doing the whole time. That takes you through a slump. But people will be quick to say, "Oh, that ain't no," well, you allowed that, right? I did. But do you think that shit is right? So now I'm telling y'all now that I am actually cutting people off. Now that I'm actually not responding. Now that I'm actually doing what I gotta do for Katrina, people don't like that. I've got DMs. I've had people to reach out to me. "Are you okay?" I am just fine. But don't text me. Don't call me if you ain't showing up like I show up. Because my mental health has to get better. I cannot be always in a funk all the time. Y'all, today I took my life back today. I went and worked out. I had I sat here, I worked on some orders. I did stuff for me, right? And I did the shit and it felt fucking good to do something just for Katrina. Because I've been so consumed for so long for doing things for everybody else. So on today, I'm going to challenge whoever's watching to do something for yourself. Get back into, I told my girls on the back end, I got to get myself back into my routine because I saw that I fell off, right? I'm not a negative person. I'm not a mean person. I love you to the depths of, I love everybody. And I had to tell my girls in the back end that I had to take time for myself because I didn't want them to feel the negativity. I didn't want them to feel as though I was cutting them off because they have been so supportive of me, right? So I'm saying this to y'all. Do what you got to do for yourself. Take your life back. And the people that belong in your life will stay. Right? And girl Ashley, Frank will say, I haven't changed. I'm the same person that I've been. I'm just no longer allowing you to treat me like shit. I'm no longer allowing you to deal with me when you want me to do shit for you or you need something from me. I'm not doing that. That's what people have to. I haven't changed. My heart is still the same. I'm still the same Katrina. I'm just not the Katrina that you know, that you could say, oh, okay, you know what? I'm going to say, fuck her Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But then on Thursday, I'm going to call her and see, can she do something for me? Even though, again, I haven't talked to my girls in the chat, I still text them to make sure they're good, because I know that they'll do the same for me. Right? When I'm going through, I know that they'll do the same for me. Right? So that's why I do it. Did I still take time for myself? Yes, I did. But I know who will have my back regardless. And so I did that. I talked to them on the back end. But the stuff that people do these days and the things that happen so constantly, and the stuff that people think that they can do, and the stuff that people think that they can say, and the way that people think that they can treat you, that's not right. So again, on today, I want y'all to take your life back, take your voice back, let people know. You ain't got an answer to nobody. If it don't sit right with you, then it don't sit right with you. Then say, you know what, this don't sit right with me. But being a walking testimony, I can come over here and smile because I've taken my mask off, because I no longer have to feel as though I have to be a certain person just for someone to love me. I no longer feel as though I have to kiss people's ass just for them to love me. I no longer have to feel that I have to say yes, 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 and they be mediocre to me just for people to love me. Because you're going to love me regardless. You're going to hate me regardless. I can do every single thing that somebody can ask me to do, and they'll still find a reason not to like me because I could have said no one time. Right? But I've said yes 20. I've only said no once. But because you have conditioned people, just like Crystal has said, you teach people how to treat you because you have conditioned people to say, to be able to say, you know what, nah, I ain't gotta deal with her. Shoot, I know Katrina gonna get over. She may be mad today, you know, she may be mad tomorrow, but I know Katrina's gonna get over, and then I can just, you know, reach. No, ma'am, no sir, no, we're not doing that. Okay, so again, is you have to realize, and I've been saying this for months, and it actually hit me over the past week, that I've learned right, what my space is in people's life. And people don't like when you say that you learn your place, your space, not place, but your space in their life. Right? You may not be somebody that's on top, like, oh, okay, well, you probably be on the back end, right? And if that's the space they want you to be, then you okay, this is where I'm gonna be. Don't try to move me up to the front row when it's not going to. No, keep me where I'm at, and I'm gonna keep you where you at. So when you come up here and you tell your testimony, you tell your story, and you let people know the shit that you've gone through, you let people know the shit that you've overcome. People don't come on my platform, they don't say nothing to me because people get tired of me talking about domestic violence and mental health. But guess what? Until I know that it has gone to a point, I'm not only doing this for the DMV area, I'm not only doing it for the down south area. And Capable Bondage is going to be known worldwide. So I'm going to keep coming up on here. I'm going to keep spreading awareness to mental health. I'm going to keep spreading awareness to domestic violence. You're going to keep seeing those posts. You're going to keep seeing those stories. You're going to keep seeing them. You know why? Because I didn't have anybody to say to me, Katrina, you need to figure out, listen, what can I do to help you? I didn't have that. I kept it hidden for so long. And then I was embarrassed because I felt as though I put other people's life in danger. So I hid it even more. So that's why for Incapable Bondage, I always say healing is a process that takes reliving what has hurt you in order to walk in your purpose. I walk in my purpose every single day because I want people to know that regardless of how you may feel about hushing the Black community about domestic violence, as much as you want to hush about people not talking about how mental health affects the Black community, as much as you want to talk or don't want to talk about how trauma comes across in our Black communities and how we have so much shit that goes on behind closed doors that we don't even tell nobody what the hell the shit is because we made it look like it's embarrassed. We gotta stop, and I'm gonna continue to spread awareness. People are gonna continue to see my face, and I'm gonna continue to be a walking testimony. It sure did, Crystal. I'm gonna continue because again, I've seen so much, and when I tell y'all, God is walking with me every step of the way. He is removing things, people. He's opening doors. So now I move in silence. You won't know what's going on with Incapable Bondage until I post it. You won't know what's going on with Incapable Bondage until after the fact. Because I realized that when you put stuff out there, certain things, people take it. They mimic it. They talk bad about it. They won't support you. And that's okay. That is okay. Because what God has done for me this past week and how he has opened my mind, how he's opened doors. Because I sat down and I said, I don't want to be this person. I don't want people to think they can walk all over me no more, God. I don't want people to think it's okay to treat me sideways, God. I don't want people to think that when I'm standing up for myself, that is that being mean. No, that's not what it is, God. It's just that I've never said certain things to people. I'm not a confrontational person. So I've always been the one that says, oh yeah, it's okay. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. It's okay. And for anybody that knows me, they know that, oh, Trina, I'm so sorry. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. But now this past week, it's hitting people a little differently because it's no longer okay. It's not. So if you are a walking testimony, like I am a walking testimony, we got this shit. If you want to advocate for something, you want to tell your story, tell your story. If you want to have events and you want to host events, host them goddamn events. Invite me. I'm coming. If you want to start cutting people off, cut them off. It's fine. It's fine. Because what you'll end up realizing is that what one of my friends says all the time is people are very self-serving. And it took me to sit and think about, like, damn, what does that mean? What does self-serving mean? That means that they do what it is that's good for them. But because I am a person that what I do, I don't do it for me. I do it because I want people to be okay. People take advantage of that. So me being a walking testimony, me coming here telling y'all this on today for Facebook, and hey Karen, sorry y'all. Hey Karen, coming on here and talking to y'all today is because what you are about to hear about Katrina moving forward is, and I'm telling you what you're about to hear. Katrina, she don't answer. Katrina, why is she popping off like that? Why Katrina acting like that? Well, you know that high intervision, you know that, well, when she was doing such and such and such, I mean, I was there. I mean, I don't understand what the problem is now. Y'all about to hear these conversations. I'm going to tell you why y'all about to hear these conversations. Because Katrina is moving how Katrina should have moved a long time ago. So y'all about to hear these conversations. And when you hear these conversations, I want you to say, for real? Well, damn. Hey, you know, that's what happens. That's what people do. You ain't gotta defend me. You ain't gotta tell me. I want you to just say, oh, okay. Because I know that what I have done, I've never done anything with ill